Welcome to the Qualified Tutor podcast. Here at QT, our mission is to provide teacher training for tutors. If you are a motivated tutor and you love to learn, the QT podcast will inspire, motivate, and support you to improve your practice. Because tutoring is a small job that makes a big difference. So we've come to the end of our second Qualification for Tutors cohort. They've been an absolutely wonderful group and we have enjoyed every minute of the workshops, listening and working with them. There's been such a complementary range of experience and knowledge within the group, and that's really helped to create such a vibrant and valuable atmosphere. We wanted to delve deeper into how our participants found the course and what they've learnt from the 4 weeks they've spent collaborating, sharing and connecting with one another. These courses provide such rich discussions, and we cannot stress enough the importance of the live interactive element of these workshops and of the course. There is so much more to learn from those who've taken it themselves than we could ever explain. So in this conversation, we are going to let the participants who have taken this course explain what they have learnt from the 4 weeks and why they have left this course with so many more tools for their tutoring than they had before. We spoke to the cohort to listen and find out more about their thoughts. So please do have a listen, hear what they have to say. And if you'd like to find out more, please find us at www.qualifiedtutor.org. We'd love to kick off really with what you felt you learnt from this course. So we'd love you to think back to all of the wonderful workshops we've had so far and just give some thoughts on what you've taken from this course and how this has helped your tutoring.
The first thing that came to mind for me was just how important attitude, atmosphere, relationship is, and how that comes back to one of the first things we learned, which was, I think it was culture eats strategy for breakfast. And
well remembered, Lucy.
I guess that's why we can all tutor in different subjects, but we all take away so much from this course because it's not specific to the content, and actually the content should respond to more to the culture. The content should be informed by the student and the relationship that you have with the student and the kind of atmosphere that you're trying to create for them and their learning, more than just chucking the same exercises at them again and again and wondering why that's not working. So yeah, that's a really important thing I've learned, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's that Peter Dick's quote that we found was a really wonderful kind of explanation of the points that we were making there. Being responsive, being adaptable, being flexible. These are all such kind of wonderful things that you've brought to the table as well. And I hope that perhaps what we've done is we've just kind of gathered those thoughts into your mind. I think one of the main positives of this course is that in the kind of interactive learning environment that we have on Zoom, where we're all together, as opposed to a kind of static course that you watch by yourself with only yourself and just the screen talking back to you. You don't have the chance to bounce those ideas off and to improve your understanding of those ideas. Because if you saw the words culture eats strategy for breakfast, you may understand what they mean, but you may not be able to apply them to a tutoring context, and you may not be able to think about kind of the deeper meaning of that quote. I'm sure it's something that Peter Dick spent hours thinking about rather than just something he said perhaps at breakfast. But that's a really really kind of valuable addition to this a course structure like this, Lucy. So thank you. Was there anything that we'd love to hear more about what was learnt from the wider discussions that we had, perhaps in the breakout rooms, or perhaps from the content delivery that we had, perhaps on the workbooks that we had up alongside the screen? We'd love to know what you have taken from these sessions.
Breakout sessions, in my opinion, have been so good, because when you're tutoring, it's quite rare. If you're employed by an agency or for, privately, that you interact with other tutors. So for the first time ever, to have a space where you can kind of ask other people about their experiences. So you learn from each other and people who are doing the exact same thing as you, which is just so helpful in so many ways. And, practically, in terms of so much information has just been shared about people's different experiences that on a practical level, people can actually, I can go into tutoring sessions now with, ideas on how to prepare for that session and ideas on on games I can play. I just think in that part of things, it's been super helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think mixing those practical tools with the kind of pedagogical backing is something that we have really wanted from this course from the start. And it's been brilliant seeing your faces light up when there's a kind of, how to plan a fan session, what kind of games to bring in. I can see you all kind of leaning in and really kind of wanting to contribute. Thanks, Camilla.
I think that being like younger than quite a few of the people here, I've learned a lot from all the other people. And I think that because for me, my tutoring experiences have been more kind of short term or more like with less of a regular student, more like a one-time thing with each student. So I've like doing this course and learning from everyone else's experiences has shown me more about the pupil side of things rather than just the tutor side of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's angles that we've been trying to look at here is looking at it from, how the student views the sessions, trying to put yourself in the shoes of the student so that you can adapt your sessions, how you can your relationship with the parent and how you're wanting to maintain your professionalism towards the parent, but also, looking out from, all the different angles that the tutor must look out from. So in this workshop, we talked about, how the importance of keeping in mind and being aware of any mental health or well-being issues in your student, but not letting that dominate the whole session because, you don't want that to become a therapy session. Yes, thanks so much, Soraya.
I think something that I've learned throughout this whole course is how much more there is to tutoring than I thought there was originally. Before my attitude was just, it is just me helping a student get better at something, whereas there's actually so much more to it. There is the relationship that you have with the student, how I can manage to help them and improve, and kind of the gratitude that I see from them, and how it is what really inspires me to tutor. And I think what this course has helped me so much with is taught me how to improve my relationship with my students, because I thought that, that sometimes might be something that is a little bit difficult, and how to be more prepared and planned for the sessions, and also how to adapt to different situations and how to be able to think on the spot. And I think it's been really, really good having these breakout rooms, because it's so great to be able to bounce off each other and create different ideas and build on each other's ideas. And you guys have created such a great environment for being able to have these conversations and learn from other tutors as well, which I wouldn't have done otherwise. So thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alexander, that's a brilliant summary, really, of it, and I hope that the Slack, the kind of asynchronous kind of Slack channel that we have outside of the sessions, gives you that time, to reflect on what you've just learned, but also to see kind of the wonderful ideas of everyone else, because learning collaboratively is so much more powerful. Lucy, the session plan that you put on today, none of us would have seen if we hadn't had the chance to have that Slack channel alongside, and the chance for you guys to have a space to put those ideas. And we really would like the Slack channel to become that in the future. It's somewhere where you can, if you read a brilliant article on tutoring, or you think of a plan that just absolutely smashes it, and kind of you have the best session you've ever had, but you don't know where else to turn to. You've told your mum 50 times. None of your friends are too bothered by it. Post it on the Slack channel. That's where we want that space to be, and it's already becoming that with our first cohort, with the channel becoming somewhere where participants feel that they can share ideas. So Alexander, really, that's, as we've talked about before, that's the beauty of this collaborative learning space.
I think the course has been very reassuring. I think tutoring is quite a strange form of employment in lots of ways, and that it's very isolated. There's no real training. You don't have much contact with your agency or managers, and so it's often quite easy to wonder if you're doing it right, or if you're kind of just winging it, or if you're something of a fraud and you don't really deserve to be earning this money. But I think, just having been exposed to everyone else's stories and kind of heard the advice, just realizing that just feeling kind of less alone as a tutor, and feeling more like you're part of a kind of industry, and that you have kind of contacts, and you have people to talk to and share ideas with, and realizing that you've got lots to offer, and that it's a really exciting profession. I think that's been a huge thing for me. So thank you.
I mean, I don't know really how you meet other tutors in this day and age. It's, as you say so clearly, it seems to be that the forces that be, want to make tutoring a sort of isolated profession. So I think that's an incredibly strong point to pull out from this, Tom, is that you've met 9 other tutors or aspiring tutors, people who can bounce off ideas in further tutoring sessions, people who can continue to support on Slack, continue to support outside Slack, whatever space it is there. Camilla, you're absolutely right that there's ideas and resources there to be shared. At the moment, if I want to find new resources that I can't make myself, I have to trawl the internet for 4 hours, and no one has the time to trawl the internet for 4 hours. So, having somewhere where those ideas can be shared is a really strong space.
Can I pitch in one more thing? Was there anybody else who wanted to speak? Because I don't want to sort of wrap things up and miss out on something.
I'll be happy to put a few words in.
Go ahead, Dan. I want to hear from you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've really benefited from the network of tutors. I just want to echo what Ludo said, because when I first signed up to QT got a while ago now, Julia, I never expected all of this help and, like Camilla said, ideas and resources on hand. So I'm really grateful for that, because just going off the chat saying, I do feel a touch of imposter syndrome at times, and this has really helped clear that up, which has been great.
That's great. That takes me exactly to what I wanted to share with you, which is, I mentioned at the beginning of this session that the government are putting all this money into training. And so there's going to be lots of versions of tutor training that are going to come out in response from the big organizations who have lots of money to throw at it and a whole staff of people. And you know us quite well by now, and you know that we are the team. And what actually happens now is that it's not just the 3 of us, it's also the people who finish the course and have understood what we're doing. So you are de facto now part of the team. And what happens from now is we start raising a different sense in the culture for tutoring, because we've spoken about imposter syndrome, because we're all genuine, high-achieving people. That's why we tutor. So we want to make sure that we're doing a good job, doing right by the student, doing right by our clients, the parents, and also making the most of our abilities. Yeah. So what we're trying to point you to is an aspiration in tutoring to be really very good at it, because it makes a really big difference, and to build yourself into having that really good feeling from doing a great thing alongside studying, alongside developing a career and other things. But tutoring has this ability to create a virtuous cycle for both the tutor and the student. And that's what we're trying to speak to. And so it's quite a big vision. And it's only meaningful if it takes people with us. So what's going to happen is that we're going to close your current Slack channel, and we're going to pour you in to the Slack channel that our current alumni are in. And so what's going to happen is we're going to have an opportunity in a week or maybe a couple of weeks' time where we're going to do a graduation session, because you signed up for a qualification and you will be getting a certificate. And that will hopefully be an event where we can get together, you can see the other people on the group, and we can start building more opportunities. It's not the networking that I have in mind, it's actually the synergy. It's actually that we're greater than the sum of our parts. And so as we bounce ideas off each other, our students will benefit and we will motivate each other and create more energy. So that's what we want to invite you to be part of going forward. And that's really exciting to us. So thank you so much, because we really, really enjoy every moment. And we want to wish you a good evening. And if there's anything you want to share with us, thanks, Camilla, don't hesitate, because we are always, always available to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So have you, Daria. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Alexander. Thanks, Dolly. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Lucy. Thanks, Seth. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Camilla. Thanks, Daria. And thank you, Ludo and Adrian.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Qualified Tutor podcast, where tutors share their expertise to support the tutoring community. We're always looking for motivated tutors to interview on the show. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, get in touch at podcast@qualifiedtutor.org. We'd love to learn from you.